Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. You want to see more? Hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2019. It's episode 27 in the series. And we've got good chances here early on against our opening opponents, non-conference schedule. Ooh, Georgia, 61%. Okay. Stetson. Wow, that's a good Stetson team right there. We're at home though. Alright, so that's our first 4 games of the season. Good news, bad news. I accidentally pushed too quick to get to this point in between episodes, and I skipped my week for Redshirt. Bugs me. That should be one of those you can't click past it without some sort of warning, some sort of pop-up. Otherwise, it's real easy to do. And it's been a long time since I've done it, but I did it this time, so I did not get a chance to redshirt anyone, which could be an issue down the line. That's 2 players that should be sitting the season out that aren't going to be, and there's nothing I can do about it now. It's kind of stupid because we haven't played a game yet. Okay. The other thing is the recruiting. The recruiting at the end of the last episode, we were in the middle of it. Things were kind of a mixed bag. For one, we were very short on our budget, and we are now virtually out. We are out of budget. We've got $585 left total, meaning we've got virtually nothing that we could do budget-wise. You can see there are a lot of triple pluses, and our list is quite short, so let's go through who and what. Malik Mallet, first shooting guard we went after, just outside of the top 25 recruits in the nation. We were making progress. We were up to number 8 on his list, but he signed with Oregon. Matt Toney, our favorite guy I really thought was looking good early on, New Mexico. We only got to 8th on his list. Kenroy Owens, top point guard, number 2, and the very first week. And he cares about location. He's from Seattle. The very first week, he signs with Nevada. Are you kidding me? I was so upset that we lost Kenroy Owens. And A on defense, A on scoring, A on passing. I mean, this guy would have been a legend. And instead he's going to be their legend. Shane Kirkland, top center. We got him. So we got our guy here, hovering around the mid-30s. This is going to be a big-time recruit. He is an A overall. Scoring, passing, not a good ball handler, but what center is. Great rebounder, good defense, great shot blocking. He's all right even stealing the ball. Great inside shot. Other than free throws, this guy is going to be phenomenal. He is 5th or 6th best center in the nation. That's a big pickup for us. 6'11", 292 pounds. It's a big boy. 3.6 GPA, so he'll do just fine in that department as well. Derek Rice, top small forward. Gonzaga, we didn't even crack top 10 for him. Joey Walter, 2nd power forward on the list, and a junior college transfer, junior college sophomore from California. We were able to get this guy, and he is an A overall and just outside of the top 40 and right on the edge of it. So this is actually still a really, really good recruit. Great scorer, good rebounder, good defense, really good inside shot. So not the greatest player ever, but as a JC sophomore at this level, he's going to come in ready to play immediately. That's an instant starter right there. So we've got 2 of them. That's really good. Continuing on, Paul Ward, a center, still available, but we already got our center. I actually haven't even finished anything here, but why don't we do that? You never know, right? There we go. This is the kind of guy that we could very much recruit. Well, we've already got our center. And he's just a C overall. And you see just how much we've dropped down ranking-wise. So, Scott Ferguson, shooting guard. We are number 6 on his list, but we have not offered him anything. He is a C overall. Jules Barrett, small forward. Not on the list. He's got everything unlocked. But here's the thing. We have offered him a scholarship. And we're not on his list. This is worrying. But this is a replacement. The sad thing is I have no money left to do anything. So he's from California. Location, academics are all good. But visiting him is going to cost more than what we even can do. He's a B overall, but only a D on defense. So I might need to look for a new small forward. So we are still absent at least one position here. Continuing on, Crawford. This was the one that was really disappointing because I was close. I'd been working on Crawford for a couple weeks, and we were quickly up to number 4. And then of all places, he signs with Montana. And it's another one of those location guys where, from Washington, that's not a good match. Facilities, that's not a good match. Academics, I've been past that university, and it's a nice looking school, but I've never heard of it being known for academics. So, very confused as to how he signed with Montana, and not us. Wallace Floyd, center. 3rd on his list, but again, we've got our center. Williams, we have our center. Power forward, we've got... the centers love me. They want to come play for me. And here's the other one, Karstensen. So, Karstensen, we have offered a scholarship. He is interested, and we are number 1 on his list. Actually, I don't even have everything unlocked on him just yet. Now, this is somebody we've really had to settle for, and I actually traded off. So we had another shooting guard who was not interested, and I let him go, and we went for Karstensen. Karstensen's only a C. Scoring-wise, ball handling, I mean, this guy's pretty mediocre. Pretty mediocre. But he's from Oregon. He had a lot of interest in us already, so I went ahead and offered, and we're right there at number 1. Main reason for this? The best players are gone at shooting guard, so I don't have much to choose from. But with no money left, with no budget left, he's the best option. So this is not going to be the best recruiting class. We take what we can get. Small forward, though, bit of a concern. That's the one I still need to recruit. Rice and Barrett. Oh no, Barrett's the only one left. Rice and Crawford have both signed otherwise. And actually, I probably should start to eliminate those names. I'll do that later. But there you go. We've got 3 signed. We still need small forward, shooting guard. That shooting guard, Karstensen, we'll get him. Derek Webb. Oh, hey, I missed Webb. We haven't gotten down to Webb yet. Last one on the list at the moment. He was much higher. He was 270 last time we checked. C overall, but good passing, good scoring, good ball handling, and good defense individually. Not the greatest player, again, but should hit, 2.5 stars or 3 stars. I'll definitely look for another point guard next season, but for now, he'll get the job done. So Derek Webb ended up our point guard. There were some others that I picked him over just because overall he's a decent player. He won't be a big star. He might only ever be a role player, but he'll be a decent player. So we have 3. Small forward, shooting guard, we still need. Shooting guard, we're good. We will get our guy. I'm really nervous about small forward, though, with Barrett being the only one. But I literally have no budget left. So we'll just have to hope that Barrett signs. It's only a double plus. We're not on his list anywhere. Yeah. I'm kind of nervous on that one, but we'll see. But we've got a season to get started, and let's go ahead and get it started. But before I can play my first game, we've got to see the depth chart, see where we're at. I actually haven't looked in depth at the roster for this season to really see how these guys are. Remember, we do have some freshmen in Lockwood, Emery, Fleming. And then we've got some redshirt freshmen, Russell, another freshman. So there's been some turnover in this. And while I should have a couple of guys redshirting, like I said, that I screwed that up. So we'll see. Let's look at the ratings. See what we're working with for this season. So Clint King, 4.5 stars. Granberry still 4, so those guys both locked in. But Rick Scott, 4 stars now. So we've got 3 guys at extremely good quality. And then true freshman Lockwood, 2.5 stars. So he's probably going to start there. And senior Jason Washington, the other shooting guard, 2.5 stars. So you need a comparison between these two guys to kind of make that decision whether we want Washington to start in his senior year or Lockwood to be a 4-year starter or to start as a 6th man this year. Inside shooting, Washington's better. Lockwood's better at the jumpers. Lockwood's a little bit better scorer, but they both are exactly the same passing. Washington, much better ball handler, though. Rebounding, very similar. Defense, Washington, big edge. I think Washington's going to start. Yeah. So Washington will start this year. Lockwood's going to be our 6th man. Small forward. Granberry's, of course, going to start. So Emery, there's another 2.5 star guy off the bench. That is fantastic. These were our starters not so long ago, like all 5. Or even worse, we had a couple 2-star starters just a couple seasons back. Point guard is the best one we've seen so far. So Eric Wynn, the junior, 2.5 stars. And that's the last 2.5 star guy. So we'll have a 2.5 star starter at point guard, shooting guard, 2.5 star guys off the bench. That's already pretty deep. But then we've got 4 2-star guys to finish out the charts. These 4 are not going to play. And that already tells me right there that it's Thomas Fleming that I missed out on. 4.5 star potential, should have redshirted this season. And with the senior center leave, well, we're going to have a really good center coming in. So I'll probably end up redshirting Fleming next season, even though he'll be a sophomore. 2 stars. Thomas, small forward, redshirt freshman. Nick Few, power forward, redshirt freshman. And Jamal Hunter, the senior, backup post player. That's actually the best. Oh, no. Nick Few and him both. Well, King will play. Oh, no, that's my highest center. Rick Scott's going to start. He'll play alongside Clint King. One of them will play at center. There's no way he's coming off the bench. Okay, well, now we can get into that depth chart, get that organized. Yeah, LaShawn Russell, not going to start over Eric Wynn. Yeah, Eric Wynn's a much better defender, so definitely Eric Wynn. Granberry, the only one who's so-so on defense here. Even Washington's not great. It'd be nice if he was 50 plus, but look at that. 3 guys, 4 stars or better, and a couple 2.5 stars. Scoring wise, Rick Scott. Yeah, I'm fine with him as center. Okay, so my 2.5 star guys need to be up higher. 1 star guy definitely needs to be a bit lower. Oops. Climbing above Hampton because of the higher potential and plays both positions. Even though not good, but we're talking about deep bench anyway. Now, defense through here. Russell's the weak one. Lockwood's the weak one, but otherwise, we're okay, and that's still a lot better than we've been in the past for that bench group. Potential-wise, Hunter should be below Thomas and Few, but we'll see here in a moment. Kind of direct comparisons. So my 2.5 star guys, let me see who should be 6th man. Potentially get a little bit more minutes. Lockwood's going to be a better scorer off the bench and the best scorer off the bench, so that's important. Defense, though, Emery's going to be the top guy there, and they both play the same 2 positions. Russell's going to be maybe point guard only. Not great passing, especially for a point guard. Eric Wynn's going to help us out on that a bit. Better than what we had last year. But still, we're lacking a real high-quality passer. But at least we've got both guards handling the ball well. Granberry handles the ball well. So, let's sort out these 4 guys. Now, Russell looks like he has no potential. But he is a true freshman, so we might find that he has more potential next year. Thomas should advance a lot. Nick Few should advance a lot. Hunter some. So if anything, this will get flipped. But what kind of quality do we have right now? Defense-wise, they're all pretty similar, within 6 of each other. But Russell's at the bottom. Rebounding, very similar. Handling, Thomas, there's a good ball handler. Russell's okay, point guard. Scoring wise, Nick Few's going to be good with points and up there. So Nick Few is actually the best guy right here. So we're going to bump him up, especially when we're lacking much here. Kirk Thomas needs to go down anyway as small forward. So we really have a 2 deep. We have 2 deep at every position, and then we also have Kirk Thomas as an 11th man. The others, not really going to play. Like Hampton, not going to play. Thomas can play. Set these guys to an 80, 75. Yeah, 75s for a 2.5 star. That's good. Those guys can stay on. Alright, sub rotations. There we go. And we'll see kind of where we're at. Wynn's got 30 minutes a game. Washington's 30. Granberry 32. King 36. Scott 32. I like that. That's good. We have no injuries right now. It's a big start. Preseason rankings, North Carolina, Duke, Michigan State, Syracuse, Kansas are the top 5 in the nation. We are not ranked to start the year, but I very much could see us getting there. 3 extremely good players and 2 good support players with them and a deep bench. For us, this is a really good squad. That's with 4 true freshmen. I believe we're playing UAB for our first game, University of Alabama, Birmingham. Yes, it is. Okay. Definite favorites for this game. And as I'm quite a bit later into the episode to where I would normally get into that first game of the season. I will try to play through this one quite quickly. So we'll leave it on times 10. Hopefully we're going to pull away. We are on the road though, so it's definitely not a guarantee on the road. And the game's off to a slow start. A minute into the game, neither team has scored, and UAB gets the first bucket with a three-pointer. Finally we get it going. They've hit back-to-back threes to lead this one early on, 6-2. Another bucket. Another. And that was a quick 10-2 lead for UAB before we finally got ourselves off and going. Cold start to the game for us, but we're closing it back down. It's 13-9 here. We've had one rebound. They've had three, so neither team much in terms of rebounds. It's turnovers, 4 and 4 apiece already in this game. Neither team getting a whole lot of shots off, but shooting well. They're 5 of 8 early on. We're 3 of 7. A lot of three-pointers going up from both teams. Score starting to take off a bit. It's 17-13 now. Rebounds also starting to pick up, but we are very much losing on the rebounding end. Jamal Hunter on the court right now. What has Rick Scott done here? 2 fouls. Oh, good job. Good job. So quick to the bench. Lots of turnovers here early on. First game jitters. I don't know. Clint King's got 8 points and 4 rebounds already. 3 of 4 shooting. So he is dominating. And we are into the lead finally. Or we were for a moment. 20-19. Now trailing by 1. But the lead is back. So we're starting to trade buckets. But we have stepped it up here. Settled down a bit after some early confusion. A lot of turnovers earlier in this game. 15 combined between the two teams. Both teams shooting nearly 50% from the field. Both teams finding a way to get to the free throw line. Both teams attempting a lot of threes. We've both had 3 makes. 15 combined attempts there. Rebounds are now level at 12 apiece. So we've settled down some. First game jitters, I suppose. We are supposed to be dominating them, but we've really struggled here early on. Now, we've got 2 minutes left in the half. Washington's already on 2 fouls. King just picked up his 3rd and subbed out. Rick Scott has 2 fouls and has been sitting for a long time since picking up that 2nd. He's going to have to get back on there soon. This depth of bench really is going to need to step up. It has a little bit. Nick Hughes got 8 points already. We do lead by 2 here at the half, but that was a terrible start to the game. Foul trouble for 1. Turnovers. Massive issue. Really both teams. But we have the kind of defense that's going to force a lot of turnovers. And intentionally. I mean, we're doing exactly what we're supposed to be doing. And now they are starting to go the wrong way field goal-wise, except for a big make there. Brought it up some. 45% for them. We're only at 40%, so we are doing pretty poor. Rebounding, we're pulling ahead, +8. Turnovers are level. We lead by 5 here, but this has been a pretty poor performance to open the season. Lots of missed shots, way too many turnovers, and we lead by 4 points. Granbury's got 11 and 7. Rick Scott finally back in the game, but he's already got his 3rd foul, so 7 points, 4 rebounds, so playing in foul trouble here. Clint King picked up his 4th. 10 minutes to play. It's tied at 51. Just thinking about a timeout. Glad I didn't use it. We ended up getting 3 points on that possession. 57-51. I believe what it was we had a free throw. We made the first, and we must have gotten the offensive rebound with a quick putback to get the other 2 points on that one. So a reverse traditional 3-point play. 61-53 now. We're starting to pull away a little bit. Finally settling down somewhat. They haven't committed a turnover this half, though. And we've had, 3 or 4 ourselves, but rebounding-wise, we're now +12, so we went from behind to a major advantage in that department. Field goal percentage, we've settled. They've stayed the same at about 50% or 45%. Free throw wise, they're getting to the line a bit more than us, but neither team shooting free throws well. We're doing better than they are, 63%. That's kind of sad. That's pretty poor percentage. Oh, score is level. Really? They caught back up. 68-66 now, 2-point lead. Last minute of the game. Going to use this timeout here on this next possession. There we go, 68-66. Good job coming out of that one. We got a free throw, we got the offensive rebound, but then we end up losing it. Oh, they got the putback. And we went down. Quick, fast break bucket. 71-71. It's tied. 5 seconds for the win. No! Overtime. 71-71. Are you kidding me? We're doing this bad in our opening game. Just 5 minutes for this overtime. 73-71. A lot of missed shots. We're getting a lot of good looks. I mean, that's right at the free throw line. We've missed the chance for the game winner at the free throw line. The close range shots going down as misses. Are they defending individually that well? Andy Baker's got 20 points to lead all scorers. Nobody is really shooting the ball well. Clint King's 4 of 7, and he had, 8 points early? Wow, now he's got 13. Did he just make a 3? That was Clint King with a 3. It's 76-71, 2 minutes to play. We're starting to pull away a little bit here. No, they come back at us. 1 possession game. Free throws, though, 77-73, minute and a half to play. We've got 2 timeouts. Foul there. 77-75. No! Oh, turnover and a quick score. Another quick score! 47 seconds, and we're trailing by 2 now. Level the score, 79-79, 30 seconds. And again, they're going to score. Dunk, big play there. I think that was King. 81-81, 15 seconds, chance to win the game. No. Timeout, 5 seconds for the win. No. Second overtime. Are you kidding me? Wow. Oh, so many chances. We are playing absolutely horrible. I've got just 1 30-second timeout now for this second overtime, so I'm going to have to use it very sparingly. 4 minutes to play, 2-point lead. Can we stretch it out? No. Another turnover. Boy, they've only had 1 turnover since halftime. We've had 12. They scored, we scored, we lead by 1. They got the offensive rebound and the dunk. Ugh. Fouls there, give us the lead back. Full court pressure. Missed shot, rebound. Down to the other end, working the ball inside, outside, back inside again. Switch it to the other side. They are definitely in a zone here. 3-2 zone. And finally, we get an open look from the middle, and it's 89-86, 2 minutes to play. There's a steal, quick fast break bucket, 91-86. Minute 40, work the ball inside, back outside. 3-pointer is good. We're going to win this thing. 94-86, 8-point game. Free throws, now 10-point game. Oh, it's about time. Boy, we should have taken control of this game a long time ago. 98-90, back and forth on the scoring right now. They keep putting us on the line, and we're finally making some free throws. 10-point lead. We hit the century mark here. Missed shot there. They gave up on it, and that's finally the end of the game. 100-90. Clint King pulled it through in the end with 20 and 12, 8 of 12 shooting. He was huge down the stretch. He only missed 1 shot, so he went 4 of 5 in overtime. Washington got to 10 points. Russell got 12. A few assists. Eric Wynn had 12 and 5, plus 5 boards for him. Granberry 13 and 10 for the double-double. Rick Scott 13 and 11 for a double-double. So we had 3 guys with double-doubles in that game. Boy, Jamal Hunter played a fair amount and only ended up with 1 point, 2 assists, and 3 rebounds. Interesting stat line there. We shut down Andy Baker. His 20 points at the end of regulation was it. And that was a lot of points in overtime. We held him scoreless. Alright, now we've got some quick simulations to do here to try to make some progress while I still have some time in this episode. So we open up the season with a win, albeit through double overtime. It was on the road, but we were heavy favorites for that game. We turned that ball over a lot, and that's something that this team is really going to need to step up and fix if we are going to make a run this season in the conference and in, hopefully, a big tournament at the end of the year. Hopefully the big tournament at the end of the year. North Carolina, Duke, Michigan State, Syracuse, all opening with wins to get their season started. Kansas, though, opens with a loss. Kentucky's already 1-1, so is Texas. Our second game is a win as we go 2-0. Now, I have been promoted. So in that promotion, I am into a new conference. We're going to need to take a look and see how things are different.
You have new man.
Ooh, I only got 2 letter of intents. Joey Walter didn't turn in his letter of intent. Oh, what's going on? What's going on, Mr. Walter? Oh, okay. JC transfer. Barrett? Anything? Nothing? This could be the first time I've ever had a vacancy at the end of the season. Carstensen, how are we looking? Still number 1. Good. Okay, Navy coming up. Heavy favorites. South Florida coming up. Heavy favorites. That second game was Bethune-Cookman. And here is my conference. It is Conference E now. So we are all the way up to the 5th division. We are approaching that top level. Conference prestige is starting to look pretty good. Team prestige, though, still not quite there because we haven't had a deep run in the tournament yet. Virginia, number 10 team in the country, is in this conference. Whoa. The real-life national champion just a couple weeks back. 3-0. Number 10 in the nation, and they are in my conference. Wow. UMass St. Joe's moved up. Missouri, Wisconsin is here. Xavier is here. Temple, BYU, Weber State, Hawaii, Colorado, Oregon State, Pittsburgh, Wichita State, and Nebraska. Yeah, we're hitting the big time now. I mean, you can see right away, this is a who's who of schools. There's not a team out here that's not widely known. Wichita State a few years back would have been not widely known, but they certainly are now. So this is not going to be an easy run this season. Good team or not, I think we've broken into the top levels. So, as much as I'm optimistic for the season, the beat each other up during the conference season, it's going to start being more of a thing. A lot more. I mean, you're going to have to be really, really good to get promoted at this point in time. I mean, back in that 2017 edition, I literally started in the bottom division. And all you had to do was be halfway decent, and you could beat up on the rest of the opponents because they weren't halfway decent. And then eventually, you had to be good. But I think we're hitting that point where don't necessarily have to be elite yet, but you've got to be great to get out of this division. 5th tier up into the 4th tier. We're there, though. I mean, we're finally hitting the big time. It's nice. Just a little nervous. We did get that win, so 3-0 now. Stetson's next. They are 0-3. It's a home game. They're a much lower division. But remember, the scouting report kind of said that actually they'd be a bit of a difficult matchup for us. We were only about 70% favorite when the others were, in the 80s or high 70s. That included road games. So Stetson apparently matches up well, but not well enough. We are 4-0. So we did get through both of those games this week. Sorry about skipping the box scores. Just don't quite have enough time in the episode to get through all these games and that. Now, we've got a decent matchup here, South Florida. The Bulls are 3-1. That's a box score we'll take a look at. So, UCLA, they're not there now, but UCLA was ranked. Conference C, that's a big matchup. And they're heavy favorites. Oh boy. Clint King, the only favored matchup. Granberry's 4 stars, but he's outmatched. Scott's 4 stars, but he's level. So this is gonna be tough. But we've still got South Florida first. This was heavy favorites. Navy, we were heavy favorites, yes. Well, heavy enough. Have a little faith. Sim the whole week. We'll get caught up, and then it's that UCLA game that we'll take a little more time for. Take a look at. We'll be right around the halfway mark on our non-conference schedule. So top 25 rankings have changed a bit now that we're a few weeks into the season. North Carolina, Michigan State, Michigan, Syracuse, and Duke all there at the top. North Carolina State still undefeated. Nevada 6-1. Okay, apparently that's the Wolfpack are quite good. No wonder that guy's going there, huh? Oregon has come from out of the rankings up into the top 10, undefeated at 7-0 right now. Louisville's 5-0. I believe Oregon was relegated to Conference B this season, so this could be a bounce back year for him after struggling the last couple seasons. Gonzaga's just 4-2 to start. That's a rough. South Florida won. South Florida won that game. We've dropped to 4-1. I'll need to go look at that box score. Navy should be an easy win. Indiana's 5-0. There's Virginia still, number 13. $72-65. The loss at home, right? Yes, it was. It was at home. What went wrong here? 6-point halftime deficit. Second half was just about level. We outscored in the paint. We outscored fast break. Both teams had decent leads, but it was never really back and forth. It was one team led or the other team led. And what do we have? We have mixed scoring. Granberry, King, Scott, Washington, all into double digits. No bench points, so that's one thing. Russell played 27 minutes. Wynn only played 11. There's no injury. 4 fouls. Okay. So, Wynn just about fouled himself out very early in the game and only played 11 minutes. Didn't make a field goal. Most of those were 3-pointers. Very, very quiet game, other than loudly getting the whistle blown again and again. Russell didn't play too well off the bench, but he was only a -1. Nick Few was a -19. So there is the stretch. There's the swing where things completely fell apart. Nick Few was out there during that time. Granberry might have been out there during that time. King was definitely on the bench. It was Nick Few who was in. So King was +12. Nick Few was a -19. That's a -7. That's a -7. So King sat. Few played. And then we struggled. That's 30-9. So that was the difference right there. King sat, we struggled. So he had a double-double. The rest of the team struggled without him. Well, at least we didn't take an injury. I was worried about that. Glad it was at least just foul trouble. So foul trouble contributed, and having our best player heading to the bench. So do I need to try to... That's one thing this season. I hope I don't forget this. I'm planning. When I get to the postseason, I change the depth chart. I change it to more minutes for the starters. So when we get to the tournament, the starters are on the court a lot more. Balance the minutes a bit less. Rely on those top players. Let them pull us through. I don't do that enough. I keep it the same throughout the season. There's been a couple of seasons where I changed it, and I think it leads to deeper runs. That tournament time, that's when you need your best players on the court all the time. You try to get other guys minutes where you can, but you blow a team out by 20 points and you give them the final few minutes of a game, kind of a thing. But the tournament's the tournament. Win comes first, player development comes second. 5-1 now, so we've recovered nicely. 81-57. More scouting reports. UCLA is coming up. That's going to be and Arizona. Arizona's only 1-5, but they are in Conference A, and no wonder they're only 1-5. We are even picked above them. And Portland coming up. They're 3-3 this season, but we are heavily favored. Heavily favored. I can talk. Yes, I can. Maybe. I don't know. Words. Can I speak them? I don't know. I don't know what to do after taking that loss. Oh, all right. Get up. Go at it again. Oh, I clicked sim whole week. I don't want to do the whole week. We need to see what goes on. UCLA 5-1. We are on the road for that game. They are back into the rankings right about where they started the season at 22. Yeah, that's a tough matchup for us. Remember, King was the only one who had an advantage, and then we had a couple players who were level, but UCLA definitely above us. And that's the thing. As good as we've been in recruiting, we still don't have a ton of prestige. Team prestige is still only 39. Now, I started with 0 initially, and it's built from there. But it takes a long time to build that because conference championships in a low conference doesn't get you a lot of prestige. I've won 10 championships on the way up. Now, of course, it's only 3 here because, again, I'm counting the 2017. We've won 1 here. So the school that we replaced in the files had a couple of their own. But the conference, now that we're up to the 5th division, conference prestige is starting to get pretty good. So I could almost start using that as a recruiting measure. And I think if we hit conference D, I think from that point on, I'll start feeling comfortable using conference prestige among my recruiting tactics. But the team prestige still has a long ways to go. And I think that's just ultimately because I haven't had a Final Four or an Elite Eight or anything like that. A couple more conference championships will boost it, but I think I need to make a deeper run. At least an Elite Eight to start boosting that team prestige up into the 50s, where we can start pushing our prestige a little bit at least. I'd love to get these facilities up. And I haven't requested for the last couple of years, so to make sure it doesn't drop, I'm going to have to request this next year. But obviously what I need right now is a budget because my staff is eating all of my budget. How am I at? Quicks on his last year. I should probably try to renew. What's he at? 52? Oh, 71,000 a year? No, we can't afford that. He's going to get let go at the end of the season. I'm going to be looking for a new first assistant or promoting from within, possibly. Okay, UCLA. No time to watch, but we'll check out the box score. Probably going to be a loss, especially if being that it was a road game. If we were at home, it'd give us a pretty fair shot, but on the road, yeah, it's a loss. Oh, come on, and an injured player. Really, UCLA? Beating us wasn't enough already? You got to beat us up? 16-point halftime lead. Much closer second half. We never even led the game. We just were level early on. Points in the paint. We didn't get blown out in any of these areas, but virtually no fast break points. Brian Nelson, small forward, 25 in the game. Ouch. Clint King had 25 in the game. 9 of 18 shooting, but still a minus 16. Nobody was a plus-minus. Nothing positive, I mean. Washington at least had 10. Granbury had 11. Foul trouble galore. Scott only got 20 minutes in. Only shot 1 of 6, so he really struggled to handle the center, David Wright. Remember, he is playing out of position, so I've got to keep an eye on Rick Scott and how he's doing and whether I need to put him back as a 6th man and give a shot to Jamal Hunter. How did Hunter do? He did okay. Rick Scott only had 2 rebounds. Hunter had 6. It's possible that I might have to relegate Rick Scott to being the 6th man. That's rough because King doesn't sit for much, so he's only going to pick up 5 minutes there, and Nick Few, see, I can't do that. Nick Few's too good to have him not play. Well, anyway, 36% from the field. They were 50% from the field. Definitely some foul trouble. No double-double for Clint King. Granbury is 4 or 5, so my top players stepped up and were able to hang with them. Okay, Fleming's the hurt one, sprained ankle, 12 days. That's okay. Doesn't bother me too much. 5-2. Portland Pilots on the road, rivalry game. They are 3-4 on the season. Now, it's a team that we should absolutely blow out, but that doesn't mean that we will. Rivalry, the home team always gets an extra boost because it's a rivalry. So, they're handed an extra 5 or 10% chance of winning the game. Makes it more interesting, right? Getting one over on your rivals. You always have extra incentive, more to play for. So there's a chance that Portland will win that game. As much as we are well above them in quality now. And the funny thing was it was Portland State that was my original rival. I replaced it with the 2019 edition with Portland, who's a few divisions higher. But either way, whether it was Portland State or Portland, both of them, providing a bit of a challenge. They're 4-4. They're a decent team this year. And at 5-2, with only one top matchup so far that resulted in a loss, our rank is only RPI anyway is only at 132. So we're not even sniffing the top 25 right now. I think a loss here, and I'd have some questions. I'd need to really go back and analyze and see what I can do. No, okay, it's a win. It's a win. 6-2. Boy, that was close though. 63-61. Jeez. Foul trouble for Clint King, but he did play 34 minutes, so I think he just took those fouls late. Granberry struggled a bit. Eric Wynn struggled a bit, just 1 of 6. He did have 4 assists at least. I mean, it's nice to have a point guard at least leading the team in assists. It was awkward last season when that wasn't the case. It's a rival game. I mean, you can see second chance points, 12-0. Points in the paint, 22-14. They certainly made a game out of it, though. Rick Scott had a double-double, 18-11. Clint King, 14-14. Dang. All right, quick glance at roster. Oh boy, we've got Arizona coming up next. That's right, Conference A, Arizona. Bad record, but still Conference A. Arizona coming up next. Eric Wynn, low on the GPA. I'm going to have a talk with him at Washington. And Lockwood, Granberry. Oh my goodness. Well, Granberry's a senior. He'll be okay. Same with Scott. And Washington. But Wynn and Lockwood, I'm going to have a talk with them, let them know that they need to take care of their academics. But that's all the time that I have for this episode. So I'm going to have to go ahead and wrap it up. There we go. Study more. 1 month. Thank you. I will not double you up though, so we'll just go with end call. And Lockwood, yes, 2.8. Ooh, I like that. Discipline. Long ways to go. Outside shooting. Plenty of improvement potential for Lockwood. I like that. That's good. You're getting 5 points a game. Not bad for the freshman. But you do need to study a little bit. Just a little bit more. Study. Thank you. Okay. Alright. Well, like I was starting to say, that's going to do it for this episode. I'm a Decathlon gamer. And remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.